Hello, everybody. I hope you all are fine and healthy. So, let's start with the new chapter of history today, chapter 12. And the name of chapter is Buildings, Paintings, and Books. In this chapter, we are going to learn about the iron pillar, the buildings in bricks and stones, how stupas and temples were built, about some paintings. We'll discuss about some epics, great epics like Ramayana, Mahabharata, Jataka Tales, Panchatantra. We will discuss about these books. Then recording and preserving of old stories, and then stories told by ordinary people, and then the contribution of some of the people in science and the books they wrote on science and maths also. Ancient India has made unique contribution to science, literature, art and culture. We all know that. In this chapter we will discuss about these achievements made by the Indians in the past. So let's start with the iron pillar. The iron pillar at Mehrauli, Delhi shows the outstanding skill of Indian craftspersons. It is made up of iron and it is 7.2-meter high and weighs over 3 tons. It was made about 1500 years ago. And how do we know about the date, that how much time or how much old it is? We came to know because there is an inscription on the pillar mentioning a ruler named Chandra who probably belonged to the Gupta dynasty. And one interesting fact of the pillar is that it has not rusted in all these years. This is the other picture of the same iron pillar. The highly polished pillars of the Mauryan period, mounted with statues of animals, the Gandhar and the Mathura school of arts, the Ajanta paintings, the temples built by Pallavas and Cholukyas are some of the magnificent examples of art and architecture of ancient India. The stupas and viharas associated with Buddhism are also rich example of the ancient Indian art. Now let's discuss something about stupas. Stupas also reflect the skills of craftspersons that have survived. The word stupa means a mound. Stupas can be of different kinds, round and tall, big and small, which will have certain common features. At the center of the stupa, a small box will be placed which contain bodily remains such as teeth, bone, or ashes of the Buddha or his followers or things they used, as well as precious stones and coins. This box known as relic casket. I'll show you the pictures of relic casket also. These boxes or the relic casket was covered with earth. Later a layer of mud brick or baked brick was added on the top. Here is the picture, some examples of relic caskets. You can see. And then this box, the dome like structure was sometimes covered with carved stone slabs. A path known as Pradikshina Path was laid around the stupa surrounded with railings. Here you can see the railings surrounding the stupa. The entrance of Path was through gateways. Devotees walked through the stupas in a clockwise direction. Okay? in a clockwise direction as a mark of devotion. Both railings and gateways were often decorated with sculpture. Here you can see in the picture that railings and the walls are decorated with sculptures. Now a question arises that how were stupas and temples built? There were several stages in building a stupa or a temple. Kings or queens wanted to build these stupas or temples. It was an expensive affair. To build these splendid or expensive structures, kings and queens spent money from their treasury to pay the craftspersons. Besides, when devotees came to visit the temple or the stupa, they often brought gifts which were used to decorate the buildings. Others who paid for these decorations were merchants, farmers, garland makers, perfumers, smiths, and hundreds of men and women who are known only by their names, which were inscribed on pillars, railings, and walls. Here you can see a picture of a Jain monastery from Orissa. This two-story building was carved out of the rock surface. Notice the entrance to the rooms. Jain monks lived and meditated in these rooms. The cave temples of Ajanta and the famous Ajanta paintings are magnificent examples of Indian art heritage. Let's move and discuss some of the paintings. Ajanta is a place where several caves were hollowed out of the hills over centuries. Most of these were monasteries for Buddhist monks, and some of them were decorated with paintings. Their themes were based on stories and tales associated with Buddhism. You can see in the picture also provided below. These paintings are lifelike, and the brilliance of their colors had not faded even after 14 centuries. You can see the brightness of the picture. The artists who created these masterpieces or the splendid works of art remain unknown. So, my dear students, this is the end of our first part. In our next part, we'll start with the world of books. I hope you have understood the first part. Read the chapter thoroughly. Thank you. Have a nice day.